Good
Hello, good
morning,
morning.
first of all. Good morning. After a long time, you have given me the chance.
Yes. And how was your morning?
Yeah, morning was good. Here is, cloudy weather is very cool, very nice. And I am on my roof, doing this conversation. So, and I was waiting since morning that you had told me that you can do a conversation at 9 a.m.
Hmm.
And since that, I am waiting for doing this conversation as I am very much excited.
Okay, okay. Yes. So
So
before
how
starting,
it's about
please, yeah.
yeah. You can keep continue.
Oh, I want to know something about you. So can you please introduce?
For sure. My name is Shravan and I am from the city of Gorakhpur from Uttar Pradesh. I have done my graduation, which is Bachelor in Science in Mathematics last year. And since then, I am preparing for government job. Along with that, I do run a YouTube channel, which is totally based on spoken English conversation. There is not so much video, but I have uploaded, I think, 10 videos, the conversation like this about spoken English. Yeah. So this is going to be my 11th conversation with Sakshi Chauhan. So may I know about yourself also, so that our viewers who will watch this video can able to, know about each other.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I can also tell you about me. So as you know that my name is Sakshi Chauhan and I'm from Coimbatore, MP. I have done my post graduation. Nowadays, I'm doing PhD, and also I'm
Uh,
a teacher profession. Yes, teaching, and along with that, I'm also running my YouTube channel. So for my improvement and working on my English and communication skills, yeah, I'm also doing that.
that's great. So you can lead the conversation. As, yeah,
Yes, yes, sure,
you
of
can.
course. So yeah, I want to know about your hobbies and what you like to do in your leisure time.
Yeah, currently I am totally focused on this language. I want to be proficient. I want to gain much more fluency in it, and for those reasons, I am just in my leisure times doing reading books, which is especially most of the time I read books which is self-help book, whether I watching a content on YouTube that should be also a self-help content, rather than this for my spoken journey. I am, watching podcast in English, and along with that, I do listen audio podcast as well. And along with that, I do session like this to improve my English. And additionally, I can say I use some free apps like As Fluency, English Diary, Open Talk. There are so many apps where I do practice even on call as well. But the problem is facing camera and speaking in front of camera with confidence. I feel some lack of confidence, I feel some lack of words even when I speak. So you can tell me how can I just work on it? How can I just avoid this fear of, forgetting words?
Okay. So
Also,
that's
I
great.
would
You're doing,
also I would
yeah.
also I would like to know about your journey. How do you working on your on English, and how do you learn this language? How do you want to become proficient? And since how long you are working on this language as well? So all these questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Then it's been I think 1.5 year. Yes. So I'm working in this language and still I'm struggling and I want to enhance myself. Even sometime I do not get satisfied for myself. Sometime I feel okay, that's fine. If I look back and from that time till now, I have improved a lot. There is a drastic change I can see in myself. But still, at some point, I feel that no, I need to improve more. So when I have started the journey after my graduation, I think yes, in post graduation when I was in my MSc, that time I have started not spoken English, but just for writing. We have to write exams in English because we were Hindi medium, so it was not. Ma'am was not allowing us to write exams in Hindi, so this was some pressurized thing. So we didn't want to do it, but we did. And after my post graduation, I've realized no, it's not gonna be work. I have to do something. And then I started my journey. I watched number of videos, and now it has become my habit. every day I want something to listen, and that reading habit also I have inculcate over the time. And now I am very interested to read books, some self-help books, of course, spiritual books, and yes, novels I always try to read, but it is very difficult for me. Then
Understand?
yeah,
Yeah, in
yes,
novel, the language and they use advanced vocabulary sometimes. So when you read self-help book, there would be the language very easy. Self-help book they use very easy language, very decent language you
very
can
easy,
understand. And the
right?
thing that you mentioned that someday we feel motivation very much that I am speaking very good, and at the same time in another day we feel that I am not speaking in that level that I should speak. It happens. And the second thing you mentioned that in your school, in your college, you are from the Hindi medium background. So I can say I am also a Hindi medium background, to be honest. And till my graduation, I have done everything in Hindi. Actually, the
Okay,
school and in my even in my college, everything was in Hindi. Either it is your exam, either it's about the environment, everything which we were surrounding us, everything was in Hindi. Whatever I have done is whatever I have learned, and whatever the I think English I'm speaking right now is just because whatever I have learned through myself. Either it's through YouTube, either it's through watching content. And initially, since our childhood, we are very much focused on grammar and all those things. Initially, I was thinking that if I will focus much more on grammar, I can be able to speak fluent in English, in front of anyone. But it's not true. It's not true. And actually I'm a government job aspirant, so I have done my all the grammar portion. Teacher bring all the grammar on the table, to understand, yeah, either the reading comprehension, part of the speech, whatever there is, you have to do all those things. But having all those things and knowing all that things, I am unable to speak. And it is just because of the, I think, practice. We don't do much more practice in front of camera with someone. We don't find people to do practice, and for that reason I have created my YouTube channel, so that we can do conversation, so that we can gain confidence while speaking. So what do you think? Like you have done your MSc and now you are doing your PhD. Then what is the? I mean, what is the goal of making this YouTube channel? Like you want to be a tutor of spoken English? You want to become a master of this, spoken journey or communication skills, whatever you can say.
right, right. Yes. So teaching is that that I love, and that fascinates me a lot. I love to share my knowledge, whatever I have. If I don't know that thing, so I love to understand. I love to listen, learn that thing and then sharing. So it's all completely related with the teaching, right? This spoken English, whenever my friends or someone who has started their journey, when they comes to me and they ask me, then I always, I'm always ready to explain them whatever I know, right? And in teaching, all in PhD also, after completion of this PhD, definitely I will be become a professor in any college. Yes, but
Yeah,
ultimate goal is that to become a professor. But that English, really, I want to learn and I want to share. I want to, give some new perspective. If whatever I can do. So English is also with me, will stand me always there. So,
yeah. So as I know you are a very fluent speaker, I have seen your more videos on YouTube. So what are the 3 points you will give to a beginner while learning this language? What are the three most important points? You can say the key points you can give as a suggestion to the beginner who is very much beginner, who don't know anything in English. What would
so
be the
first
suggestion?
is that to listening, right? We should start
Yeah,
listening. When I started this, even I was not able to understand properly. Yesterday, I
yeah,
think day before yesterday, I was having conversation where also I have mentioned this thing. So even I was not able to understand properly. If I talk about native speakers, still it is very difficult to understand, right? Because of their accent. So
yeah,
I think start listening first, whether they are understanding or not. It's not about that they should listen something related to academics, related to this. They can do anything. We
yeah,
have plenty of options are there on YouTube, right?
yeah.
We can go with movies or songs. There are so many things. So
There are so
listening is the
many
most.
things. Yeah,
And reading also they can do. I know that they will not take interest, but they can read jokes. This is also.
You
It
know what
sounds so
happened when we read something? When we read something, we speak. Before reading so much, we don't feel confident to speak any word. I feel sometimes some words give me some problem, like the word understand. When I speak understand, I feel stuck while doing this. So I replace this word. I use acknowledge. In spite of using understand word. So there are some words when you read something, you feel that this word you are not unable to speak. So when you do practice much more, when you speak loudly one word for the 10 times, you can become the master of that word, that lines, whatever there is. So that's all. So what will be the third point? What will be the third point?
third point would be, I think, speaking, most important.
Ah,
But
yeah,
now the next comes to that with whom they can start. So there are a
yeah,
number of application where even you don't, if you are not comfortable in video chats, so there are audio options, right? Audio call options
yeah,
are over there. We can go with that. Even
yeah,
we have to try, right? We have to take out ourselves from the comfort zone. If we really don't want to do anything, then it's not going to be work. So I think that listening and little bit reading and that speaking, so these 3 points, if we do it initially, right,
yeah.
then definitely things will work over the time.
Yeah, definitely. That's the great point that you have mentioned here. I think it will work. Whoever the beginner is going to watch this video, they
Yes,
should follow
it
these
worked
things.
for me. It worked for me, and whatever we are sharing, because right, we have started their journey from there. So we can share these things very well. We can understand this because when I have started, so I started listening, right, and reading
Yeah,
little bit. I was not taking interest, but still I have started. I pushed myself towards reading. And speaking also, I have also used one application. I had used that Ace Fluency called. I don't know nowadays are
yeah.
they provide the
Nahin,
talk
they are
time or
providing.
what.
They're providing
Okay.
20 minutes daily free of cost. Right now,
Okay,
you can.
yes. So when I use this, so I used to use it every day, 20 to 25 minutes. Yes, every day I used to talk,
Yeah.
and that helped me a lot.
But on app we don't get many a times genuine people. But on YouTube we get so many people who is very much genuine, very much eager and curious about to learn this language. So I
So
think YouTube is the best. Yeah,
pros and cons are everywhere.
yeah,
We
yeah,
cannot
everywhere.
want
Yeah.
everything, right?
So are you comfortable on audio or video? I mean, on audio call and video call.
Yeah, I am. Initially, actually, I was not comfortable. Then I started with the audio chats, but now I am very comfortable. You can see.
Okay, that's great. Initially what I was doing while learning this language, I used to feel, there are so many aids universities run on their website, like on Instagram, Facebook, for their university. If you want to take admission, you have to fill the form and you have to talk with the counselor. He will suggest you which course do you want and how can you get admission into the course. So what I used to do, I fill every form. Why I try to fill the form? Just because to talk with counselor in English. So when they get me call back, I used to talk so much in English with counselor. Counselor are very good at English. So we can talk on 40 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. In this way, I used to talk with them because I don't. At that time, I didn't have any idea. Like there are some free apps also. And since I am running this YouTube channel, and when I started listening, watching conversational videos on YouTube, then I got idea about some free apps like you mentioned, as fluency, English CRE. There are so many. So then I started talking with on as fluency, and there are many apps as well. So what do you think? Other than this, what do you do for? I mean, how many times you giving to your English, and along with that, the another question is, how many conversation have you done till yet?
Okay, so actually, I don't remember how many conversations I have done, but nowadays, actually, I'm not using that ace fluency. I'm just having this kind of conversations. And apart from this, yeah, there are some of them they want to learn, so I provide them classes also for this. And by
That's
doing
great.
that, I'm also practicing, and I learn and prepare, and then share with them. So it is altogether, it is a amazing experience, and new for me.
That's great. That's you are learning, and as well as besides this, you are earning as well, right? And
Yeah. Yeah,
this is
I
and
want
this
to
is
know
going to help in your tutor journey. Yeah, please keep continuing.
that. So you have mentioned that you are using some applications. So can you mention the name of these application and are they free or are they paid? Uh,
Yeah, there are so many. It's like As Fluency, English Yari, Duolingo, OpenTalk, and even if you search, there are so many. Yes, the As Fluency is the top app I can say. When you call within 30 seconds, you get a partner, you get a co-learner. There
right.
are sometimes you get some premium user, who is premium.
Yes,
So they are very
yes,
sincere.
yes.
Whoever
And
is the
they
premier,
and they demonstrate the topic as well, right? On the
yeah, they give
screen there is
in a
topic.
suggestion they give a topic you can do if you don't know about the topics. So you can just read that the mentioned topic and you can do discuss on that. Ma'am,
Yes.
so I have some question for myself, and the question is, how can I use idiom and phrase in sentences? The second question is, how can I use advanced vocabulary? Even though I know advanced vocabularies, but I am unable to use in the sentence. Why? And how can I start a sentence while speaking with someone? And how can I end up the conversation? Sometimes we feel stuck. How can I end up this conversation? When we start a sentence, how can I end up this? So these are the three questions. You can please give me a suggestion.
So first you asked that how can I use idioms and phrases, right? So we are not using that frequently, but we should know. And when we need, even I use it. I know I have read, number of idioms and phrases, but when I talk, then after some time I realize I haven't used. But there was no need. Sometime without need
No,
also we can use, right? So,
yeah,
but we
yeah.
should, we when we need it, definitely. Whenever I need these kind of idiom, definitely it comes to our head, right?
Hmm.
So I think we
Yeah.
should. I'm interested in these idioms and phrases. That sounds so great if you will use,
But
right?
but 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 those things make sentences very beautiful. When we use some idiom and phrase, sentence structures looks good when we speak. It's try to I know it's make a sentence very much beautiful. So on vocabulary, what suggestion would you like to give?
Yes, vocabulary is something I'm also struggling with. This even I've read so many vocabulary. I feel that I know a number of vocabularies, but how can I use? And sometimes I want to more vocabulary. I feel no, I should have a more vocabulary. More package of vocabulary so that in every sentence I can use a new vocab. But I realize no, it's not. We are
when you focus
chasing
on
just.
when you focus on recalling the using advanced vocabulary, you forget making a sentence. It happens.
Yes. Right.
In general discussion, you can't use advanced vocabulary. It happens when you are very much experienced while speaking. When you have done lots and lots and lots of sessions, like Sadhguru, Virat Kohli, and we can
Hmm.
mention some other. There are so many. Ranveer Alabadia is there. So they are doing conversation on the daily basis for hours and hours. And even their
Hmm.
schooling and their graduation, whatever happens, all those things happens in English mode. And we are from the Hindi belt area, right? I think even in your MSc you have faced Hindi kind of thing everywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes. Even even when I see their conversations, when I feel in this sentence, oh my God, they have used. But if I speak this sentence, I will not use this kind of words. If I say the
yeah,
same sentence in a very simple manner. So somewhere it is right and somewhere it is not right. Because if I talk about like I and you and there are so many people, so we are speaking well, fine, but still we
yeah.
are chasing to the vocabulary, advanced vocabulary,
Mhm.
idioms, and for me it is right because if we really want to become a fluent speaker, we should know the knowledge of these good vocabulary and idioms. We should know how to use, where to use, right? But I
Yeah,
think it
vocabulary is
will take time, right?
also important when you hear someone. Vocabulary is also important when you hear someone. If someone is using advanced vocabulary or vocabulary which is mediocre level, and you don't know the meaning, how would you respond to them? When we listen
Hmm.
someone, then only we are able to speak. Then only we are able to respond them. So listening is very
Hmm.
important, and along with listening, you have to focus on your vocabulary. You know. So that thing
Right.
I should, I think we should use vocabulary. You know what I do for this time, advanced vocabulary. I try to use a single word on the daily basis. In every conversation, I try to use one sophisticated word so that I can
Okay, yeah.
recall them.
Mhm.
Once you use one word in a conversation, you can't forget those words. Yeah? I think so.
No, no, it is happen. It is true. When we use one word twice, thrice, definitely, we will not forget that.